Good morning, friends. I'm going to take you in my real life day's journey. Journey of my day in the real life. Day in the life. Some more Shannon's shenanigans. How about that? All right. So just got up. Washed my face, brushed my teeth. I've actually already had my protein coffee. Just even get a few of these snags out of my bed head. Pull this back. Get it out of my face now. Now that I have these little bangs, I have to clip those. Okay. My face is dry. It's needing its moisturizer because it's just had water on it today. Drinking my water as well. This is the best thing you can do for your skin, is to stay hydrated. Drink your water. I try to drink 2 of these a day. This is 40 ounces. So they say you should get about half your body weight a day. So that works. But sometimes I get more depending on my activity level or sweat level, if I'm indoors, outdoors, or whatnot. So anyway, yeah, start from the inside out. And I'm extra thirsty this morning, so that's good, I guess. All right, so we're going to start with our Ramon, which I'm learning more about this. You know, I guess they've kind of rebranded, and so they refer to themselves as the ICD, which stands for like intercellular dermatology or something like that. I'll figure that out and get that information to you soon, but let me see if it's on the back of this bottle. Oh, Incell Derm. Incell Derm. INCELLDERM. So this is the 2-phase oil mist. Shake it up. Instant hydration. Feels so good. And has a delightful fragrance. Yes. All right, and then I go with the booster. It doesn't say to shake it up, but I always do. The oil is obvious because it separates, and you can see the separation. It will do that too. Okay. Let that sit, and you want that extra wet. And some people instantly put the serum on. And this bottle is neat. It took me a minute to figure it out, but it pumps on its own when you open and close. It has that effect. So you get the amount already in your syringe. So that was, or your dropper, that was new to me because I'm used to the ordinary where you pump it in there yourself. But I did just put it on my face from the dropper last time, and an esthetician commented and said, please don't do that for risk of bacteria, to put it on your hands or your fingers. But I felt like my face was cleaner probably than my hands. I mean, even though both have been washed, but you know how we say we carry a lot of germs on our hands. But anyway, so I'm going to drop it on my hands, but I'm going to just try not to touch my hands. I'll just drop it. Maybe that's what he or she meant. But I appreciate any and all advice, because I am an amateur for sure, and I'll be the first to admit it. Y'all probably gonna get tired of these skincare beauty videos, but it's a big part of my daily routine and my life now. You know, I've been sharing my journey on Zepbound and my cancer journey a little, but this is interwoven with my newfound YouTube channel. It's, remember, Shannon's journey, a little bit about life, health, and hope over 50. And that hope is not just, you know, everyday kind of hope. It's hoping I can, you know, do something about some of this skin maturing damage from my previous years of not really taking care of my skin the way we realize sometimes when it's a little too late. But never too late to, you know, make changes going forward. All right, so then that's the serum, and you're gonna do the booster again. And maybe I'm supposed to let that booster sit longer. I've seen different ways from different channels say different things, but I'm gonna let all that absorb a little bit before I put the moisturizer. And I've seen some people put the moisturizer on while it's wet, but I'm going to let that absorb. I've been really diving into the Demi part of Saint, my new makeup routine. And I've ordered some Demi core colors. They should be here soon. And I'm hoping that I can learn how to do some of the correcting. You know, I don't like a lot of foundation. I don't like a heaviness, so there's a lot of days I would probably just want to do some color correcting and go on about my merry way. But I'm approaching my week 47. Tomorrow I take my injection again for Zepbound, 5 milligrams. I'm in the maintenance phase. I've lost over 56 pounds, and I'm just trying to maintain that. And it's been relatively easy, knock on wood. But I'm going to continue that. I have scans at the Cancer Center, City of Hope, for November scheduled, and it's a new scan. It's a copper PET scan. And so I'm very interested to see, you know, if the fatty liver, you know, has improved anymore. It's gone from severe to mild. The last scans I had in May showed mild. And I'm just ready for it to say, it's gone. The spot on my pancreas, the cancer on there, is gone. Tuesday when I went to the City of Hope, my doctor said that you're the most boring patient I will see today. So that's a great thing to hear. He said your kidneys are functioning great, your liver's functioning great. So, you know, although I do have lots of cancer in my liver, it's still functioning well, a lot better than it was. And the kidneys, I've had CKD, and it's really not a subject at this time, so good. All right, so that was the Boo Say Boo. Now I'm going to do the moisturizer. And it came with this little spatula, and when the esthetician commented about the bacteria, I thought, yeah, I probably should use that little spatula for this moisturizer as well. And y'all know, I can't put my finger on it right now. I'm not sure. It may be in my bathroom, but I'm going to use this little spatula that came with my brush set from Amazon. If you saw that haul, this is one of the 22 items that came with that brush set for $8.99. Although my professional brushes from Saint are on their way. I'll show you those when they get here. Feels pretty good just putting it on with this spatula. I do love the feel of this moisturizer. It is a good one. Okay. I like the feel of this little spatula too. I use this at night because at night I usually do my face routine, skincare routine, and then I floss and brush and rinse and all that stuff. And I was noticing last night when I flossed, you know, I could taste my skincare because I had just used my hands to do that. So this may help prevent that. As I was doing, I thought, oh, I hope I'm not putting anything dangerous in my mouth, ingesting it, which these are all supposed to be safe. That feels so nice. Okay. So that's that. I'm going to use some of the balm under my eyes, over my eyes, and on my lips. And now I'm not going to forget today, I'm going to apply my sunscreen. I have different sunscreens. I have the Neutrogena Clear Face 55, oil-free. And I'm very sensitive with some sunscreens that will kind of burn my eyes, but these are good. The Elta MD, and this is a tinted daily sunscreen with 40 SPF. I think I'll try it today. Saint does, and maybe Ramon, I'm thinking of Ramon, does have a sunscreen. And maybe when I run out of these, I'll try it. But right now, these are full bottles, so I'm going to use them first. So I'll put this tint on my face and neck, and then on my chest, I'll probably just put the Neutrogena, and maybe some on my neck too, but these are the places that have extra sun exposure. And don't forget your ears, y'all. Always get your ears and get behind your neck if you're going to wear your hair up. Those little things we can't forget about. I don't know what shirt I'm wearing today, so some days I wear crew neck, some days I wear V-neck. Seldom do I wear sleeveless or tanks, but it's getting a little cooler than it has been here in Georgia, so you never know when I'm going to be pulling my hair up. Okay. I always try to get my hands and arms too. Somebody's doggy's barking. Okay. All right. So now I feel like all that skincare is just absorbing so nicely. And it's time for the Saint. So let me get my little thoughts together. Sponge is still a little damp. Good. All right. So let's just get it going. I was hoping my brushes would be here today before I started applying makeup, but next time. You're like, oh, I gotta say this again? No, you don't. Okay. I washed some of my other brushes. They're a little better than these Amazon ones, but they're still a little damp. So they're still drying over here. All right, let's just get it on. Oh, that's the one I'm looking for. Dip it into my cedar. I'm just gotten now where I just kind of brush it on as I do it instead of the dot, dot, dot. Seems to work for me better. So you play around and see what works for you. And you can still kind of stipple in there. kind of absorb, then I'll blend more. I'm gonna go ahead and do some of the bronzer. I have Bella up there as well. Let it kind of melt with my skin, meld into that. All right, I'm just dabbing my brush on my little cloth down here, and then I'm going to start with the foundation. We're going to go with the Hazel. And I'm going to go with my lighter highlight foundation, which is June. Go down the nose here, little dot there. Kind of this T-zone area. Let's see, before I hit this, I want to put a little bit of color corrector, which is the Frenchie. I used the right brush here. Like I said, I'm working on that color correction stuff. I've never, ever color corrected in my life. So it's very new to me. But I do know I need it. Okay. Now I'm going to go with the sandy, kind of right in this area. Just kind of combine the sandy and the June together. And let me do this contouring of the nose. I just put the cedar and rub it together here, and then you get up here and you really pinch, go down the sides. Now, most people do that before they do the highlight in the middle. I'm just experimenting with that. That's new to me as well. All right. Let's go ahead and get a little cheek color. I'm going to use the Frenchie on my cheeks today too. Frenchie is a lip cheek color that St. Artists recommend for color correcting from the 3D collection if you're not doing the dimming. All right, so I know I look clownish right now, but I'm about to buff it all. And I'm just starting with the lighter areas. Some people start with the darker, but I do it different days. Now I'm gonna do the darker. And you don't want to completely buff it out, the contour, and you want to push it kind of into that hairline. Got a hair on my face. coverage is a little fuller than I normally do today, but I think maybe it's from the skincare being applied so closely to my makeup application. I'm gonna do some bronzer. My little brush. This little spot on my neck just has to be worked on carefully because I've got brown, white, red. It's tricky. And then rainbow. Rainbow of color imperfections, sun damage, radiation. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my damp perfector and just try to get any excess off. I've got to go to the grocery store today. My husband has requested zuppa. It's an Italian soup. You can get it at Olive Garden, but my mom perfected the recipe when she was living and passed it on to us, and it is a family favorite. Of course, we haven't had it in a while because it's been hot here, but I guess with it cooling off, it was on his mind, and so he's been talking about it for about a week. And today he was out of honey buns, and he said that, and I said, well, I gotta go get my coffee because I'm out of my Starbucks vanilla latte that I mix with my protein every morning, and or almost every morning. I do Javi, so he said, oh, you're gonna make the zuppa? So I gotta get my ingredients for the zuppa. And a couple of more errands I was gonna run, if I can remember what they were. I'll have to get myself in a quiet place and think before I head out. Get my thoughts and plans all organized. All right, so I think that's good for my foundation. I'm going to do my lip and cheek. Well, I did my cheek, but I'm gonna do my lip, and we're gonna go with, what is this, pink grapefruit? Let's see what it looks like today. It's very pink, but that's okay because I'm probably gonna put a gloss on with it. Not really doing a liner this morning because I like, most of the time I only do liner like night, date night, events, things like that. Okay, that's pretty. I may add a little of that on my cheek too. That's the thing, these colors can build and meld together and all that. So now I'm going to do a little illuminator, and it is rose gold. Let's do a little bit just in the spotlight areas where you want a little extra glow. And there's this translucent powder. Mine is called Feather Blot. Oh, there's my little moisturizer special. Okay, Feather Blot. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. Just shine down just a little bit. All right, and I'm not really doing eyeshadow. I may just put a little bit of this Mama. It's like a primer, kind of natural look. Yeah, that's all I want today. And that's that. So easy. It's getting easier every time. And I'm going to put a little clear. That's not it. I'm not going to do my brow gel today. Put this clear Thrive over that pink grapefruit just to get it a little, just a little shine. That's good. And eyeliner and mascara. Okay, I'm going to use my Thrive. Whoa, brown today. I almost lost it. And this has a sharpener in it, but I kind of like it not too sharp. And I'm putting it on right at my lashes, just trying to get a little full, what do you call it? Emphasis of darkening that area so it gives the illusion of more fullness in your lashes at the lash line. So then I'm going to get I'll use my Thrive lash extensions today. I haven't used this tubular in a while because sometimes it's difficult to take off. Not difficult, but I just feel like it tugged on my lashes more to get it off. And I didn't want to lose any lashes from excess tugging. And it may have just been the technique I was doing. So if you have any tips for removing tubular mascara, comment. Let me know what I'm doing that may have unnecessary roughness. All right. And it's a buildable mascara too. You can apply more, get more length. I don't know if you can see, but it does a good job of lengthening just with one little coat. Okay. Got some little peeling right here in my nasal area. Looking in my magnifying glass just to see if, or mirror, if I've missed any. Getting excess off. It looks pretty good in person. I don't know how it's looking on that camera right there. All right, so now I just gotta go get dressed and do something with my hair. And I'm ready. I will catch up with you guys later. All right, so I'm finally headed out of my house, headed to run my errands, and I remembered what it was that I wanted to do today. I'm gonna go antiquing. I have not done that in a long time, but I'm looking for a couple of pieces of furniture, but I like antiques. So I'm gonna see if I can find anything today. I'm just gonna go to this one little shop that's in my town, but then I got to go to the grocery to get things for my Zupa and other stuff. But we'll see if I find anything. I'll let you know. Wish me luck. So much for the thrifting and antiquing. Both of the shops that I had on my list to visit are out of business. So one place that's not out of business is this Publix, because we all know that groceries are raking in the money hand over fist. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my groceries. Hi guys, I should have been filming and letting you know how I make my delicious Zupa, which is a recipe handed down from my mom, but I forgot. So I'll just kind of show you what I've done so far. So I browned some hot Italian sausage along with some mild Italian sausage. Then I added a teaspoon of garlic, minced garlic, and I cut up a whole yellow onion, chopped it and added that to my pan. And I'm just letting the onions turn opaque. And then I will transfer them over to my crock pot that's warming. And then I'm going to add my potatoes that I cut up. You can use any kind of potatoes. We usually use russet, but I just got these enchanted potatoes and cut those up. And then we'll add chicken broth. We'll add our kale once it's done. You add kale toward the end. And I have my heavy whipping cream that it also is added. Salt and pepper and things like that. But I'll go into more detail later. It's so delicious. All right, I also cooked my emerald pasta the other day. And we had the, whoops, there's a lid. Garlic roasted marinara. And added some very lean ground beef. But this is the pasta that was left over because it was a big container. If you remember those nesting noodles that I showed you on my Home Goods haul. Well, so I've got these noodles left over, so I'm going to add some capers, and I'm going to add some basil pesto, and I'll pick up a rotisserie chicken. They didn't have the regular rotisserie original, so I got this one last one that they had, which is sweet peach heat. So we'll see how it turns out, but just didn't want this pasta to go to waste, and I need some lunch today as well. So this will be something I'll make, and then if it's worthy, my husband may take some to work, or I may freeze it for a later date, but I'll let you know how that turns out as well. Okay, so I added all the potatoes and the chicken broth. You want the broth to cover the potatoes. If it doesn't, you can add 1 to 2 cups of water. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cups of water because we like ours very soupy. And then I'm going to salt and pepper. Let that cook for 5 to 6 hours. And then I will add the kale and the whipping cream. And when we eat it, we'll garnish it with some shredded Parmesan. Actually, I got shaved Parmesan cheese. And it is delicious. I cut the rotisserie up, and I'm about to add that to the pots. Okay, so I've got some chicken in there, and that sweet heat is nice. So this is gonna be a yummy lunch. And leftovers for sure. I didn't put a ton of chicken. I'm saving some of the chicken for just protein on its own. But yeah, yum yum. Lunch is almost served. Top it off with a little fresh shredded Parmesan. Voila. Right, it's time to get the stems out of the kale, wash the kale, add the kale to the soup and the heavy whipping cream. Whoop, my broken spoon that I can't seem to part with. Okay, this is what we love. We love the kale, and it really cooks down. I know it looks like a lot, but it cooks down. Just trying to see if I missed a few stems, and I did. So let me grab those before I add the heavy whipping cream. Okay, here comes the heavy whipping cream. Let that cook on low. Dinner will be served shortly. All right, so I've got a couple little hauls that came in today. I'm gonna add to this little clip of a day in the life. So this is Thrive, one of my favorite companies. My scissors. Just finished that delicious pasta with, I added the basil pesto and the peach heat chicken, rotisserie chicken, and capers. It was so good. Just a little made-up recipe from yours truly. There's just a couple little things that caught my eye. So I got me a brown eyeliner because I didn't have one that was thin, but this one is Infinity Waterproof Eyeliner, Semi-Permanent Micropigment Technology. It's called Nili Chocolate Brown Shimmer. So let's check it out. Let's see. Get it out of here. It's got one end that you can smudge and sharpen. That's pretty cool. Let's see how it goes on. I have not tried Thrive's eyeliner, so this will be a first. I'll just do that lash line there. That's going on great. Yeah, you can see that. I already had some of their, let's see, what's it called? What's it called? Is this the one I put on earlier today? No, that's not it. This one. Their Infinity Waterproof Eyeshadow Stick, which is in a brown color, Rigi, something like that. And I'll just do that upper inside corner, the lash line. Goes on great, easy, very easy. Yeah, I think that I'm going to really like this color. It's just a soft brown. You probably can't really see it, but that's exactly what I wanted. Thank you, Thrive. Then the other thing I got, y'all know how I love pumpkin spice and I love lip gloss. So this is seasonal for them, but it's their Pout Hero Liquid Balm Lip Treatment and Pumpkin Spice Latte. I almost bought it last year and I passed, I think because I had just ordered some of their other lip gloss that I love. But yeah, I had some points and oh, it smells good. And I decided to kick off pumpkin spice season, I would indulge. I like it. It feels very therapeutic to the lips. Yeah, so add that to my little collection here. All right, and then I also had a package arrive. I think I know what it is. It's from Saint, and I think it's my brushes. I did order some of their Demi products, but I just ordered those, so they're not here quite yet. Oh, I forgot about this. This is, I think something is missing perhaps. Maybe not. We'll see. Maybe it's in here. Oh, yeah, it is, because this is the little holder it comes in. So this is the Perfector sponge, and it comes in this little container. So cute. Because you know you got to keep it damp, so I'll have to wet that, and that keeps it fresh. Cute. And then I did go ahead and splurge and get these brushes. I think I missed out on all their sales, but I have been accruing rewards, and the other day I had so many, I got $40 off of the Demi, and I ordered a new palette. So this is the detail brush. Let's see if I can get it out of here. I don't know what the best way to open this is. Okay. Nice. Okay, and they say because these are two-sided, you know, you don't want to store them like I store these. So I've got to get me a little container. I may just use this box that they came in for now. Okay. I keep all my packages that I'm still testing out their packaging underneath here in case I need to send anything back. I'm not just throwing stuff on the floor is what I really wanted you to know. Okay, so this is the blush bronzer. That's a good way. Blush bronzer brush. You know, and I wish they had that marked on here because you know I won't remember for a while. So I'm gonna stick it in. Well, I don't know what's the best way for me to keep up. Maybe we'll see how different they look. So this is the detail. This is the blush bronzer. And this one is the multitasker for detailed application. Yeah, I should be able to tell these apart. My nails are... It's time for me to redo my nails. That'll maybe be the next video. Oh, nice. Tiny little detail brush. Okay. So yeah, I think this container will work for now. And I'll just lay these in here until I get maybe something different. But I probably cut that lid off. We'll see. I've got some other containers I need to reorganize. All right. So yeah, that's my little haul, y'all. I'm going to put these brushes up that I used today. And I think I got my zuppa cooking, and I've been running around all day today, a little ready to relax. So I think I'm going to go in here and find something on the telly to watch today. Sit still for a while, and then I'll probably get my workout in because I haven't done that yet today. So, all right, I am not sure if I'll add anything else onto this video other than a exit message, but thanks for tuning in.